Fred McGriff, Crime Dog. Check out the shirt.
It's
Crime
a
Dog
sick shirt.
is in the Hall of Fame. Fred McGriff has made it thanks to the contemporary ballot, the contemporary era, whatever they're calling it. He's in. Contemporary baseball ballot results were announced, and Fred McGriff made it unanimously. All of the votes went for him, 100%. He was the only one that got in. Now, questions. Who all is on this? What do you mean? What is this voting? Well, basically just the guys that, like, the big-time names that didn't get in from the normal committee, and now this is the contemporary era committee, and they're voting people in. Bonds is on this list. McGuire, Sosa, Schilling, Clemens, Fred McGriff, and Fred McGriff gets in with 100% of the vote. Congratulations to him. First off, before we talk about the rest of the ballot, congrats to him. I grew up a gigantic Atlanta Braves fan. When I'm from Richmond, 10 minutes from the AAA stadium, the Richmond Braves played there. The Braves were on TBS every single night. They were like the team. I lived and died by what happened with the Braves. Fred McGriff played there for 5 years, and good for him. And he was there at the winter meetings yesterday. There was a little bit of a press conference for him. And I just walked away. I love him. I love him. He is the most awesome, like, charismatic, like, you know, somebody asked him about getting there and, like, you know, how does it feel to finally get into the Hall of Fame? It had been a while. And he goes, you know what? Unanimous. It's a lovely thing. It's Crime Dog's time.
Yeah.
And it's just like he's the most charismatic guy. And it was really cool, and you could see the smile on his face, and he's so genuine. He had so many stories to tell. I love the guy. I was a big fan, and now I'm a much bigger fan. And forever, Fred McGriff is in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. So
congratulations.
good for him. 284, 493 career home runs, over 1,500 RBIs. The guy deserves to be in.
Yeah.
And now he is, thanks to this committee.
Couple other people on that ballot that I believe should also be in. But we know that because I got pretty heated about it last week, as did you.
Yeah,
Barry Bonds didn't crack 50%.
He didn't crack 25% either. They're both right. But he didn't crack 25%.
People are just bitter.
I tweeted about this right after the vote. This is alarming to me that this committee votes and Barry Bonds doesn't get to 25% of the vote. And followed that up by saying Barry Bonds is the greatest hitter of all time and should be in the Hall of Fame.
He should.
We know what happened, obviously. And Dusty Baker was actually asked about this.
What'd he say?
Because Dusty, obviously, the Giants connection. And he said Bonds, McGuire, Sosa, and he said, like, some other names I'm forgetting.
Yep.
They saved baseball.
Yep.
They brought eyes back to baseball. They put eyes on baseball that have never watched baseball in their life. Yep. They made people fall in love with baseball that never loved it. And in his opinion, and this Bruce Bochy said this, I believe. Maybe it was, don't quote me on who said it.
Okay.
Bruce Bochy was also there, also Giants connection.
Okay.
Bruce Bochy said he's the greatest player I have ever seen in terms of Barry Bonds. Greatest player I have ever seen. And he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. In fact, you can't quote me. This was all Bruce Bochy. Okay. Got him confused. This was all Bochy. And he said all those guys should be in because they saved baseball.
They did.
We both have been vocal about where we stand here.
Yeah.
I believe Barry Bonds is the greatest hitter of all time.
With you.
And that he should be in. I believe he should have gotten in originally. Yep. I know he took steroids. I know that. I hear you. I don't care. Like,
no.
The museum that is in Cooperstown is to showcase the greatest that have ever done it. And you can't have a museum of the greatest baseball players that have ever done it without having Barry Bonds in it. You just can't. And I am perfectly fine putting his plaque on the wall with an asterisk if you want, or put it in its own wing saying, hey, this is an era of baseball that doesn't necessarily have the brightest past, but it did happen. And you can't have Rob Manfred come out and acknowledge that somebody asked him about the home run chase with Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
And he said, it's Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
Or it's Barry Bonds, and it's in the record book. So you can't, it doesn't make sense.
No.
He's in the record books. The record did happen. The home runs did happen. The batting average, the MVPs, they did happen. And then when it comes time to say, hey, was he one of the greatest baseball players of all time? Say no. You can't do it. It doesn't make sense.
That's the part that I can't wrap my head around, and that is comical to me. We still talk about his records. We still have them on the all-time list when players are chasing those records, okay? It's not like he has been completely removed from baseball. His name has not been removed. His records have not been removed. He is still there. He is still talked about. He is still atop of so many lists. Give the man the respect that he deserves for saving the game of baseball and being the face of baseball for as long as he was.
That's why I believe you made a good point there. If he is still acknowledged by baseball.
Yes.
And that's why I believe it's an entirely different question bringing Pete Rose into this. Because Pete Rose is currently banned from baseball. He can't be on these ballots because he's banned for life. So until Pete Rose is reinstated, no, we're not going to have the conversation of, oh, well, we can talk about Barry Bonds when Pete Rose gets in. One, Barry Bonds was better than Pete Rose.
Yep.
Two, Pete Rose is banned from baseball, and it's a moot point until he is unbanned from baseball. Barry Bonds is not. His records are everywhere at the very, very tippy top of the baseball spectrum, and he should be in the Hall of Fame, along with Fred McGriff. Crime Dog. Period.
Agreed.
End of story. Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.